Consider the quiet panic that arrives in the small hours. The notifications have stopped. The room, once filled with the afterglow of validation, is now just empty. You have a roster of contacts, but no one to call. A collection of experiences, but no shared history. A profound, inescapable loneliness that seems to deepen in direct proportion to the number of partners you've had. You've been told it's freedom. You've been told the past doesn't matter. You've been told the body is a playground, not a temple. Yet here you are. The promised liberation feels like a cage. And the only thing society offers you is more of the same poison, louder music, another swipe, another empty encounter, each one carving out a little more of your soul. Why? Because the solution being sold is a lie that violates your very architecture. It confuses a biological signal for a spiritual goal. You are not broken. You are not needy. You are experiencing the catastrophic mismatch between an ancient biological imperative and a modern, deracinated culture that worships chaos. In this video, we will dissect the real reason. It has nothing to do with morality, and everything to do with the unforgiving logic of evolutionary psychology, the betrayal of the modern condition, and the slow-burning consequences of living at odds with your own archetypal nature. Strip away the social narratives. Strip away the political slogans. Look at the raw substrate, the human animal. For the ancestral woman, sex was not a recreational activity. It was an act of profound, life-altering consequence. Pregnancy was a 9-month investment of resources, followed by years of vulnerability. A single choice in partner was a matter of survival for her and her offspring. This forged a deep, instinctual calculus, hypergamy. Hypergamy is not a slur. It is a biological strategy. It is the imperative to seek the best possible genetic and material resources from a mate to ensure the survival of the next generation. It is discerning, cautious, and fiercely selective. It is the reason women are, on average, the gatekeepers of sexual access. The female body and psyche evolved to be the crucible of new life. This comes with a built-in valuation mechanism: high cost demands high value. This selectivity is wired into the neuroendocrine system. Bonding hormones like oxytocin, the attachment molecule, are released in significant quantities during intimacy, especially for women. This is not an accident. It is a biological program designed to create pair bonds, to glue mother to child, and ideally, mother to a reliable provider. The entire system is engineered for depth, for consequence, for creating a nest, both physical and psychological. Promiscuity, in this light, is not a sin. It is a biological contradiction. It is the repetitive triggering of a deep pair bonding mechanism with partners who, by the very nature of a promiscuous context, are not suitable for the bond. It is teaching your own nervous system that the ultimate act of trust and vulnerability is, in fact, meaningless. You are flooding the sanctum with strangers and then wondering why it feels desecrated. So we arrive at the modern catastrophe. The system designed for careful selection in a tight-knit tribe has been unleashed onto the infinite, disembodied marketplace of dating apps and social media. The biological imperative for hypergamy, find the best, has been weaponized by the platform algorithm. It has become infinite hypergamy. There's always a taller, richer, more charismatic profile one swipe away. The mating strategy becomes a loop of transient comparison, devoid of context, character, or commitment. The man is no longer a person, he is a bundle of provisional traits to be consumed and discarded. Worse, the modern narrative sells this as empowerment. It tells you to ignore the deep, whispering voice of your biology, the one that seeks a single, sturdy tree to build upon. It tells you that the loneliness is a sign you haven't consumed enough, not that you've violated a core principle of your being. This is the dark psychology of the marketplace. It must make you perpetually dissatisfied to keep you consuming. It has commodified your deepest instinct and sold it back to you as a series of empty transactions. You begin to conflate attention with value, and access with worthiness. The shadow self, the repressed, chaotic part of your psyche, takes the reins. It says, take the validation. Silence the doubt. But with each encounter, the archetype of the mother, the creator of lasting life, is suppressed by the archetype of the Aphrodite of the marketplace, the goddess of fleeting, mercantile pleasure. One builds a legacy. The other leaves only a receipt. The dark truth is this: loneliness is not the punishment for promiscuity. It is the symptom. It is the body's and the psyche's desperate report that you are using a bonding mechanism in a way that prevents bonding. You are starving the part of you that needs depth, while force-feeding the part of you that was designed for discernment a diet of empty calories. You are building a resume of experiences that, in the silent, judging court of your own biology, reads as a chronicle of poor investment. So what is to be done? The Stoic imperative applies: understand your nature, then live in accordance with it. First, with brutal honesty, audit your own psychology. Are your actions driven by a genuine, positive desire for connection? Or are they driven by fear of being left behind, of being undesirable, of facing the void of your own solitude? The latter is a slave's motive. Second, reclaim your selectivity. Real power is not in saying yes to everything offered. That is passivity disguised as activity. Real power is in the terrifying, dignified, and conscious no. It is in choosing depth over breadth, and meaning over sensation. It is in treating your capacity for bonding not as a faucet to be turned on for anyone, but as a sacred trust to be offered cautiously. You are not a collection of liberated impulses. You are a hierarchy of systems, ancient and modern, biological and spiritual. The loneliness is the cry of the deeper systems, ignored for too long. To integrate them is not a step backward. It is the only way forward into a weighty, meaningful, and truly connected life. The path out of the labyrinth begins when you stop celebrating the walls and start listening to the longing for the sky.